American pride working exactly as intended. Let me start with a question that's going to make people uncomfortable. What if the system is not broken? What if it is working exactly as designed? Because over the last few years, something happened that nobody wants to talk about honestly. Millions of people were moved quickly, generously, and with urgency into the United States. Housing appeared, transportation appeared, healthcare appeared, food appeared, even spending money appeared, and it all appeared fast. And here's the part Americans noticed immediately. That level of speed, compassion, and coordination has never been offered to struggling American citizens. Not once. So let's clear something up right now. This is not about whether immigrants are good or bad. That is a lazy argument and it misses the point completely. The real question is this: why is dignity conditional for Americans but automatic for everyone else? We're told in America that we're broke. We are told resources are scarce. We are told programs take years of studies, pilot phases, and debates, all until they don't. Because when the political will exists, the money moves like lightning. And Americans, well, they see that. They're not stupid. Let's talk about war, because this is where the silence gets loud. For generations, Americans were taught a simple idea: fight over there so we don't have to fight over here. That belief was not accidental. It was cultivated. It was wrapped in pride, wrapped in duty, and wrapped in honor. And millions believed it. They went, they fought, they did not all come back. And many who did come back returned to a country that said, thank you, and then told them to figure the rest out on their own. Here is the connection nobody wants to say out loud. While Americans supply the bodies for the war, the system replaces the labor at home. Cheaper labor, more dependent labor, labor that does not complain, labor that keeps wages down and profits high. Weapons get sold, oil gets moved, textiles get produced, agriculture stays cheap. Billions and billions and billions and billions. This is not about patriotism. It's about margins. Send loyal citizens to fight, replace them at home, and call it humanitarian. Keep the machine fed. And that machine does not belong to Democrats or Republicans. It belongs to the elite class, the 1%. You see, war feeds them, foreign aid feeds them, cheap labor feeds them, and ultimately, chaos feeds them. So no matter what flag is flying, they never miss a meal. And let's be very clear about the money. This is not Trump's money. This is not Biden's money. This is American taxpayers' money. Look where it goes. Every year, tens of billions are sent to Israel. Cash, not loans, not aid with strings, and Americans are told not to question it. Say the wrong thing and you're labeled an anti-Semite, even if your question is simple. Why do American citizens struggle to afford health care and education while another country receives our tax dollars so their citizens can have both for free? That's not hate. That's arithmetic. Same story in Ukraine. Hundreds of billions spent. Bombs, ammo, equipment, contracts. So who benefits? Not the Ukrainian civilians, not the American working class. The war machine eats well again. And while that money moves overseas at warp speed, Americans are told fixing Flint's water is too complicated, too expensive, too slow. We can drop bombs halfway around the world in days, but clean water in Michigan is somehow impossible. That's not incompetence. That is priority, and it shows up everywhere. Rural water projects shut down for political reasons. Towns hollowed out. Veterans thanked and discarded. Workers told to retrain again, and again. Meanwhile, when immigrants arrive, whether it be Somali, Venezuelan, or anyone else, the system suddenly works. Housing appears, healthcare appears, food appears, and it all appears fast. Now that doesn't make immigrants the villains. They did not design the system. They did not write the rules. They did not print the money. They are navigating the incentives offered same as anyone would. The real winners are the sponsors, the middleman, the contract holders, the nonprofits with government ties, the corporations circling the funding. Money flows in circles at the top. That is why it's great to be a sponsor and brutal to be an American citizen told that independence disqualifies you from help. So here is the proposal. Not hate and not anger. A test. If relocation plus support is compassionate policy, offer it to Americans first. Not to rebuild towns, not to lecture people where they live. Offer them the same deal. Move them, house them, feed them, cover health care, provide transportation, spending money. Same package, same urgency, same compassion. Go to Steelton, go to Flint, go to Appalachia, go to the Mississippi Delta, and then measure what happens. Because my bet, dependency drops fast. Faster than anyone could ever see. And it's not because Americans are better, but because Americans already know the system, the language, the laws, and the expectation of work. Americans are not lazy. They are exhausted. You cannot work a horse hard, put it away sweaty and wet, and then act shocked when it collapses. That is not weakness, that is biology. And still, despite everything, Americans stay loyal. They stand for the anthem, they send their kids to school, they work when there's work, they pay taxes when they can. That is pride. Not slogans, not chest thumping, not flag waving. You see, pride is showing up even when the system does not show up for you. So let's land this clean. This is not immigrants versus Americans. It is citizens versus a system that forgot who built it. If we can afford endless war, we can afford clean water. If we can sponsor newcomers overnight, then we can sponsor citizens. If we can send billions abroad without debate, we can stop telling Americans to wait their turn. American pride does not mean exclusion. It means parity. It means naming the real villains, the 1% who profit from chaos, the elites who never fight, never starve, and never sacrifice. The systems that feed upward while preaching patience downward. Americans are not asking for handouts. They are asking not to be last. I'm MT. This is Empty Promises to You, because I'm done with empty promises to you.